point out that the sun shines down its power to all the world and makes the wind blow strong as it will. I wonder how gentle rains can fall upon the land, so lovely earth can stay lovely still. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 662nd edition. Is that right? I don't have it in front of me. Of Energy Week with George Harvey and the amazing Nancy Wolfe.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nancy is one of my favorite characters.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Believe me, she's a character.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely one of my favorite characters.
Am I really a
Yes.
character?
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you.
Talking to someone today about the beard shaving, and I was thinking, I almost mentioned to him about how when you shave your beard, nobody can recognize you at all. Nobody knows who you are.
And people who have been watching this show for a long time have seen that happen. Every year, maybe twice.
Yes.
It's coming up soon. I will probably do it in the next week.
It's going to be wild.
Well, I want to assert the fact that spring is here.
Yeah.
Even if it's cold out.
Let's assert it. Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, this show is based on, this is news aggregation on energy and climate change, and it's all based on material that I've found on a daily basis in the news, posted at my blog, geoharvey.com, geoharvey.com. Every week, we put together a TV show based on what is there. The daily blog usually has 15 items in it, and more than that, I just don't. I think 15 may be too many for a lot of people. But you know, if I let it get out of control, it could be out of control.
I mean, I'm sure some days it's you can keep going.
I put stories up simply because they are not because they're great stories, but because they're typical stories. You know, stories like someplace in the world, a 250 megawatt solar farm has been put online. Well, that happens every day, a couple of times. But still, I put them in once in a while, usually because, you know, it's happening in Ireland where you wouldn't expect a solar farm or something like that. But we put it together, and if you can go to that site, geoharvey.com, to find the stories, or you can go to a site which would be tinyurl 662, which if you scroll around, you'll probably find it. Maybe not, you know, who knows? What can I say? But anyway, there it is. And by the way, the link to that website that has the tiny URL is in the description. I got smart sometime about 10 days ago.
Great.
And
good time to get smart.
Yeah, it's good time to get smart. I'm going to turn 80, and I hope I'm still smart when next fall. I hope I'm still smart when I'm 80.
Most likely most likely you will stay as smart as you are. Or do you want me to say you'll get smarter? I don't know. What's the right answer here, George?
Well, I'll tell you. I don't know what to say. How's that for a smart answer?
Great, perfect answer.
Okay. We're starting on the 5th of February, which is a Thursday, and we are ending on the 11th of February, which is a Wednesday. So that 7-day period is the period that we're talking about, and we might as well just go. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's go in.
We have a picture here of the governor of Massachusetts and who is he? The
Nova Scotian someone.
He's the, whatever they have to run Nova Scotia.
Yeah, they're running Nova Scotia.
Prime Minister of Nova Scotia, probably.
So this headline, this is from Renews, and Nova Scotia and Massachusetts ink offshore MOU.
The province of Nova Scotia and the state of Massachusetts signed a memorandum of understanding that could see Nova Scotia send offshore wind power to Massachusetts in the coming years. The agreement comes as the Canadian province hopes to launch its first seabed lease auction this year. It's amazing how fast these things move. And the Trump administration can't do anything about shutting down this Nova Scotia thing.
Well, no, because they're talking about, yeah, it's Canada. So my reaction to this is it's just so cute.
It's so
just
cute.
so cute. It's, you got Nova Scotia. Just sweet. It's just sweet. It's just lovely. I really enjoyed this.
People in Nova Scotia get along with people in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I like it. I've been to Nova
not?
Scotia. It's a nice place.
I've never been in Nova Scotia. And the last time I was in Canada, believe it or not, was 1950.
Okay. That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. I remember it.
Okay.
I remember we drove across Canada to get from between Chicago and Niagara Falls. And I remember a lot of maple trees.
Yeah. Delicious.
Anyway, and I do remember, I was 4 years old and I remember Niagara Falls. I was not terribly impressed by it.
I don't think anyone is.
Really?
Well, I mean, there's certainly some people probably who are, but they might hear about it and then they go into it and they...
Oh, you want to see something like that? Go to Plymouth Rock.
Yes. I've been to Plymouth Rock. Yeah. It's a rock. There's that rock.
We
Hello.
drove from South Dakota all the way to see this?
This is a rock. Hello. Welcome to the rock.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going, we're going the wrong way today. All right, we have a picture of haze of a wildfire in New York City.
Yeah, so this is from ABC News. Particle pollution from wildfire smoke was tied to 24,100 deaths per year in U.S.
Chronic exposure to wildfire smoke is linked to tens of thousands of deaths annually in the United States, according to a study in the journal Science Advances. Tiny particulates in wildfire smoke contributed to an average of 24,100 deaths per year in the lower 48 states between 2006 and 2020.
I have a lot to say on this one.
Oh,
George.
do you? Go ahead.
This is a really big deal. Health impacts of just living in areas of like California and just living in those areas. Soon this will impact regional healthcare, if it has not already. Health impact clusters.
Yes.
All over these overly inhabited areas that generally, a lot of the time, they're building in land that hasn't been built before. They're inhabited areas that humans have seemed to ruin for selfish reasons. We suck and are a bad lot.
Not you and I.
No, maybe, but just generally humans are just disastrous to our planet.
Humans are disastrous to the planet if they're allowed to do it. They have to be. It has to be pointed out to them somehow that things can go wrong if they just, and they have to take that into account. And unfortunately, we've got people who are professionally supposed to take it into account today and are unwilling to do so.
No.
Such as people in the higher regions, levels of responsibility in the EPA. And
Yep.
Anyway,
They're tasked.
They are tasked. That picture, by the way, was taken on the 7th of June, 2023. And it is New York City in wildfire smoke that came, I believe, from Canada.
Yeah.
This is bad. And by the way, air pollution, which includes wildfire smoke, contributes to the deaths of somewhere between 250 and 350 people in Vermont every year. So,
It also impacts everybody.
It impacts everybody. There's no way to escape it. I mean, we're sitting here in the studio at BCTV in Brattleboro. The sun is shining outside, and I know every time I inhale, I'm bringing in a few of these, more than a few probably, of these particulate pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, going on.
Yeah.
Here we've got, this is a story.
I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head so much. But this is from E&E News by Politico. I think that's Energy and Environment. So I think I used to read that blog
Yes.
myself. So the headline here is DOE, Department of Energy, prepares to send nuclear waste cross-country.
Now, nuclear waste has been building up at nuclear sites all over the United States. It doesn't have any place to go. And the current regime in Washington is looking at this and saying, oh, we've got to do something. Why don't we send it to Idaho?
Oh, yeah. Let's just send it to Idaho. Let's send it to somewhere else. Let's send it to China. Let's send it to
any place, just to prove that we know what we're doing, or at least we're doing something.
Well, there is a reason why. Gosh, I'm forgetting the name of that facility that was built in Nevada.
Yes.
The facility that was built for underground storage.
Yes.
There's a reason why people have refused and worked to make sure that doesn't happen in their own state.
Yes.
That what was it? ANA, I can't remember the name. What ANA stands for? Anyway, the American Nuclear. Anyway, anti-nuclear. So it's an anti-nuclear. American anti-nuclear. Anyway, it's an organization, and anyway, I'm just going to keep saying that this is not safe. I'm going to let you read this, and then I'm going to say more.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
A rail journey years in the making will start from Dominion Energy's North Anna nuclear plant in Virginia in the fall of 2027, bound for Idaho National Laboratory. A specially designed rail car will be used to move a 180-ton lead and steel cask containing spent nuclear fuel over a distance of 2,500 yards. Now, before Nancy goes further, I did a little work on trying to figure out, where is this thing going? The distance between Virginia, actually the nuclear power plant, and Idaho National Labs is a bit over 1,800 miles. This is going 2,500 miles. Why is it going 2,500 miles? And by the way, by road, it's 2,200 miles. Okay, but as the crow flies, it's a bit over 1,800. The reason it's going 2,500 miles is because the first leg of the journey is from Virginia south to Georgia. And the reason for that is they have to take this stuff around the Appalachian Mountains. They can't take it through. And the reason for that is because there's low-hanging overpasses and stuff like that.
I've driven through the Appalachians. Yeah.
The Appalachians, we should know about the Appalachians. We live in the Appalachians. We're in the northern Appalachians, but nevertheless.
Yes. Well, yeah, I grew up down south, but
it's anyway. You had something.
Yeah,
to say.
which is I could follow this train and make a film just about that, just about where it's going and what will happen. It's hell on wheels. That's what this is. Here is our creepy. It's Friday the 13th, by the way. So this seems.
Why would we talk about anything else on Friday the 13th? What can go wrong?
What?
Did I tell you about the cow?
Was Austin, Idaho? What was the town? Or in Ohio, where that train that had.
There have been a lot of those things. There was that horrible one in Canada too.
Yeah.
And you know, the train in Canada, the guy had to stop it and get off for some reason. He thought he put the brakes on. Yeah, it was a train carrying crude oil, from oil sands in Canada, which is full of methane and bubbles like Pepsi Cola. And it just gained speed as it went slightly downhill. And finally it got to a curve in a town and it jumped the track and burst into flame. That kind of thing can happen.
Yeah.
Better yet, in 1997, okay, a Japanese fishing boat sank with a big hole in it. The Japanese Coast Guard answered a call, a distress call, and when the crew told them how the hole got put in the boat, they were locked up because they were clearly lying. They were all saying the same thing, but they were clearly lying. They were out at sea, and all of a sudden, a cow hit them, falling out of the sky. No warning, it just
fell right in. Here's the cow.
Here's a cow. After a couple of weeks, the Russians sent somebody. Russians sent somebody to clarify that they had in fact dropped a cow from 30,000 feet.
Yeah, that's what you do.
It was a
regular day.
The people. It was a regular day. What can possibly go wrong, right?
Cow falling into your boat. Apparently, a cow falling, that can happen.
It can happen. It did happen.
It happened.
Obviously, it has to happen, be able to happen. We're way behind here. Mm-hmm. Okay. What can happen with this rail car? Are you kidding me? The problem with saying we shouldn't do this is that we have to do it. We've got something like 14 nuclear plants on the Atlantic coast. Most of them are within inches of the sea.
And because we do not have long-term storage of any kind, we have nowhere to put it. And so what NRC folks told people to do, I remember this after Fukushima, it was, we're just going to keep the waste in the plants. And that, because we don't have a place.
What can go wrong?
And then by the time I guess the film of Indian Point came out, at that point, Indian Point was all full. We've been full. We're completely full. So what do you do when a plant that's operating is completely full?
Well, on the other hand, what do you do when you're operating Oyster Creek and it's shut down? There's a hurricane coming, Sandy, and the water is an inch or two from the top of the seawall. Because if it goes over the seawall, and you know that some of it did, it had to, because waves were breaking against that seawall. When it goes over the seawall, and if it gathers to any extent, it's going to cause things to get very messy. I don't think we would have had a meltdown. I think we would have just had a big mess. But the problem with a nuclear mess,
it's dirty.
It's not fun. Okay, we should go on. Mm-hmm. This is Friday the 6th, and here we have a picture. This is an ad, I think.
Yeah.
From CATL.
I'm calling it cattle. I'm continuing to call it cattle, as I did before. I'm calling it cattle. So why sodium-ion batteries are happening now from Clean Technica.
Cattle, the world's biggest, okay, I did it. I shouldn't have done it. CATL.
Yes.
The world's biggest battery maker made a production commitment for sodium-ion batteries. It's introduced its Naxtra line of batteries last year. Now it has announced plans. I'm not able to talk because, I'm getting old. For a volume production of sodium-ion batteries this year with integration into production EVs by July of this year. So these sodium-ion batteries are coming to market. And yeah, they will have a little less range, a fair amount less range than lithium-ion batteries. But they're cheap, and they don't catch on fire.
Right, that's the part that is.
Every time I talk about lithium-ion batteries catching fire, I keep thinking about how dangerous gasoline is.
Yeah.
a gallon of gasoline evaporates into the air in the right mix with oxygen in the air. That 1 gallon has an explosive force that it will release. I looked it up. I remembered that it was equal to 18 and a half sticks of dynamite when I was in high school. And now what I'm finding is that people disagree. I didn't find 18 and a half. I found 20, I found 80, but I didn't find 18 and a half. You know, I mean, gasoline is toxic, it's nasty, it's explosive.
Yes.
And people park cars that might have pinholes in their gas tanks in their garages, which I think is just, it's a product of bad thinking in the mid 20th century.
Yeah.
It's a product of, in the 19th century, people had buggies.
Yeah.
Whatever they had that rolled into the barn, and the horse maybe lived in the barn too. And you know, when cars came, they just used the car instead of the buggy. Okay.
Yep.
Now we're 8 minutes behind schedule, and we're barely 8 minutes into this. So.
Well, this is from ABC News.
Yeah.
And the headline here is worsening snow drought in the West will have cascading impacts, experts say.
Prolonged drought across much of the West has been worsened by low snowfall and persistent warmth, fueling a widespread snow drought with reduced mountain snowpack. The region's water supplies are facing mounting challenges, experts say. And by the way, they're about to get one heck of a snowstorm. So, I mean, you know, I've seen predictions for areas that boggle the mind.
So the thing that I point out here is water.
Water, yeah.
Water is life, water. And you're talking about water supplies having challenges. That's the stuff that concerns me a bit.
It's been concerning me for years. I've seen this for years. And the situation out west is just getting worse.
It is, yeah.
You know, so.
I think I told you a while back, I met someone who moved from Colorado to Vermont, and it was getting so tired of those wildfires.
Yeah, I would get tired of the wildfires.
Yeah. So came out to Vermont, and you know.
I'm tired of the wildfires, and I'm in Vermont.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, I heard an engineer from Vermont Yankees when it was still running saying, "This place is safe from fires. Look, on one side for miles we've got just farm fields, and on the other side we've got the Connecticut River. How's that for a fire break?" How wide is the Connecticut River? Is it 150 yards across? I don't know. It's not all that big. It's not a huge river.
Yeah.
The Peshtigo fire jumped Green Bay. At its narrowest point, Green Bay is 10 miles across. I mean, people have got to start getting real about this stuff.
Yes, they do.
Okay. We have a picture of a wind turbine.
Yes, we do. This is from Renews. GE Vernova wins 1.1 gigawatt U.S. repowering haul.
GE Vernova booked 1,100 megawatts of U.S. onshore wind power orders in 2025 as developers look to boost output and extend the life of existing fleets. The projects will use nacelles and drivetrains made at the company's Pensacola, Florida facility, GE Vernova's onshore business said. Now, one of the things that's hard to get up and costs a lot of money is the mast, the tower. Another thing is the base of this thing uses a lot of concrete. There's a lot of stuff there that you don't want to throw away. And these turbines, generally speaking, they last 20, 25 years. The warranty on them is 20 years, usually, sometimes 25. But at the end of that period, they want to take this thing out and put in a new one, and they can just plop it down on the top of if they have a big enough crane.
Got to get a big crane.
Do.
Well, I just say made in the USA.
That's right. That's what it is. Okay, we're up to Saturday, February 7th, and we have a pick.
Yeah, so this is from Clean Technica. Free bi-directional EV chargers provided for Massachusetts program.
A Massachusetts Clean Energy Center press release about a new state EV charger program says selected participants in a vehicle to everything, or what they call V2X, demonstration program includes school districts, residents, and municipal projects. They will receive bidirectional EV chargers at no cost. And of course, what this means is they can charge the car. They can also allow the utility to use energy stored in the car to keep the grid at a ready basis. It's
Avoiding greed. I love it. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's a good move. What I thought was this is a good move to help people adjust to alternative fuel. You make it easy, you make it accessible, then people try it.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. And I kind of suspect that people who have cars 50 years from now will be doing this kind of thing. And I also suspect that we'll have a lot fewer cars 50 years from now than we have today. I was excited about cars when I was a kid, but in 1959, my father bought a new car, and I went out with him and looked at cars. And I realized they're junk.
They're big pieces of metal.
They're big pieces of metal. That
Big.
1959 Pontiac station wagon that he got was a heavy beast,
Yeah.
but it was still junk.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we have here is offshore oil rigs flaring gas. I mean, oh well.
Yeah. So this is from Euronews. U.S. lawmakers urge the EU to keep methane rules.
A number of U.S. lawmakers have called upon the European Union to uphold its methane rules and avoid exempting American energy operators if U.S. domestic standards lack sufficient accuracy or enforcement. In the letter they sent, the letter they sent had 27 signatories, and it was obtained by Euronews. This is American lawmakers telling European lawmakers to uphold their methane rules instead of...
Yeah, basically, in plain English, hold the boundary.
Yeah.
Keep the boundary up.
Yeah,
Keep your boundaries. Do not relent. Hold your boundaries.
In the interest of the United States for these 24 lawmakers to sign that letter or not?
It's not in the interest of the United States economy as the president sees it. It is in the best interest of the globe to do this. And
all the people in the United States to do this. It's in the interest of our health.
Of every person's health. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Anyway. Okay, we have a picture of a wind turbine installation vessel.
Yeah.
This is
So this is from Renews. Shipbuilder Hanwha wins jackup deal.
Hanwha Ocean has taken an order from Ocean Wind Power 1 for a wind turbine installation vessel. The shipyard said the vessel is scheduled for delivery in the first half of 2028. Hanwha Ocean also pointed out that the unit will be Korea's first WTIV wind turbine installation vessel. See, I'm thinking okay. Capable of installing turbines of 15 megawatt capacity. This is the first Korean installation vessel that will deal with wind turbines that big.
Cool.
15 megawatts is huge. I think if we had a 15 megawatt wind turbine on the top of Wantastigit, it would mean that we would be powered
Yeah.
in Brattleboro. connect it with a battery, we could go day and night.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Okay, we're up to Sunday, February 8th. No, I'm not advocating for that, by the way.
Okay.
Here we have a picture of Venice.
Yeah, this headline, Euronews, cannibalistic jellies and aggressive blue crabs. Invasive species threaten Venice's fragile lagoon.
Yeah, the city of Venice and its surrounding lagoon are at the mercy of climate change. This is happening. It's coming across Venice just like deer ticks came to us in the 1990s. Just like, a variety of other things that are going wrong. Moose ticks. I'm not going to go into moose ticks. It's too gross. Research shows how warming seas are bringing invasive species that threaten the lagoon ecosystem and livelihoods of local fishing communities.
I think the headline's a little intense. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah,
that headline's
well,
a little
headline
cannibalistic jellies. It's a little.
I actually considered switching this so it would be aggressive blue crabs and cannibalistic jellies, because that sounds a little easier to take.
Yeah.
But these are jellyfish that the large ones will eat the small ones. Jellyfish don't have brains.
Oh.
How do they think? I mean, they get everything coordinated, but they don't have brains. Scallops, too. Scallops don't have brains. Crabs don't have brains, but they can bury themselves in the sand. How do they do that? I don't know.
The claws. I don't know.
They have a foot, and it goes out and it goes down, and then it pulls them down. Okay. The aggressive blue crabs. And by the way, those jellyfish, just so people know, are edible. And I have read, and I don't know that it's true, that every single species of crab, that is an actual crab, is edible. And these blue crabs get big. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not good. They should have stability there. Mm-hmm. Okay, the problem is that the fish that they've got are being depleted by these things. We're slowly catching up to where we should be. This is a picture of Harare, which is the capital of Zimbabwe.
Yeah, so this is from the Herald. Zimbabwe plans to build solar manufacturing plant. A key industry body reveals.
Zimbabwe's plans to build a solar panel manufacturing plant has attracted global interest and is expected to mark a shift in its energy and industrialization strategy, a top African solar industry report shows. The thrust signals a push to attract foreign investment. Now, Zimbabwe is not a rich country. And that capital looks like it's got a certain amount of money, but Zimbabwe is not a rich country. And Zimbabwe, not many years ago, went through a period of hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is just incredible at what it does. Anyway, they are building a solar manufacturing plant, a solar panel manufacturing plant. And Africa is the place where solar plants, solar power is growing the fastest.
Well, it's a place where I feel that there's a lot of sun. There's a lot of sun in a lot of parts of Africa. Mm-hmm. It seems like a great place to have solar. Seems pretty good.
A lot of Africa is. And solar power is interesting because if it's carefully placed, it puts the ground under it into shadow. Yeah. And
you get that, and you get shade. People get shade, animals get shade, plants get shade.
And they grow. A lot of plants grow better in the shade under solar panels. And I'm talking about plants like potatoes here. And this is from multiple tests, University of Arizona and the Fraunhofer in Germany, both came up with similar results about crops actually increase yields if they are growing under solar panels. Okay. An Iowa wind farm. We're up to Monday, February 9th. Are we? No, we're not. We're up to an Iowa wind farm.
Yeah, so this is from oilprice.com. Iowa's wind boom stalls as politics clashes with power prices.
Anti-renewable sentiment has grown in rural and red areas recently and is pushed by the Trump administration. This stance has caused many state economies to plateau as some of the most important areas for renewable energy development were unfolding in red states. In some states, it has not stopped. And, there are states where they just say, this is too good. We've got to keep going.
Yeah, it's money. Like, come on. I mean, my comment here is it's quite unfortunate how disinformation campaigns can affect everybody.
Well, it is. And, I see it on a daily basis. Because,
Yes.
But it is.
It has impacts.
It does. Okay. And I'm reminded, by the way, of that horrible cold spell that they had in Texas that caused, and people to this day blame renewable energy for the shutdown.
Yes, because that's what was said.
That's what was said. But if you look at it closely, it was natural gas plants.
Yeah.
They have 3 nuclear reactors in Texas, and one of them was shut down by the cold. Nuclear plants have to function correctly, or they don't function. Mm-hmm. Okay.
They have to everything. Yes.
Yes. We are up to Monday, February 9th. We have a picture of a solar array. Is that correct? There we go.
That's correct. There we go. So this is from Renews. So TotalEnergies inks 1 gigawatt Google solar deal.
TotalEnergies has signed 2 long-term power purchase agreements to deliver 1 gigawatt of solar capacity to supply Google's data centers in Texas. The power will come from its 805 megawatt Wichita and 195 megawatt Mustang Creek sites in Texas. By the way, Texans keep installing wind power. They keep installing solar power. The company said construction is to begin in the second quarter of this year.
I mean, my reaction to this is, hey, at least it's solar. Because,
they could be installing nuclear. They're not going to install nuclear. It'll take until
no, but I just mean this
to
data.
Finish it.
It's like a disease that we have with energy consumption. And that's I'm saying at least it's solar. At least when you're building this data center, you're not impacting people as badly as you could with an big industrial plant. So,
well, I don't know what's going to come of AI.
No.
I'm very unhappy about the AI stuff that's going on.
Yes, it directly impacts. There's a film I need to tell you about that my friend made that just premiered at Sundance that's all about AI, and she touches on these issues.
Did I tell you that I invented an AI system?
Yes.
And I have patents on it. And this is an AI system that uses a conventional processor like the one in this computer. And I don't know. Clearly, it will not do things that conventional AI out there will do. But clearly, it will do other things many, many, many times faster for a whole lot less power being used. Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about it because I don't like sounding like I'm advertising. Mm-hmm. Because it's not going to sell. Nobody's interested. But,
Well, we have our next piece is from Euronews, and this is EU courts Gulf countries for free trade deal as Brussels seeks to counter tariffs.
And what you have on the screen is a ship that's moving stuff around. Tariff. Cargo. It's a cargo ship. Mm-hmm. European officials have called for the negotiation of free trade agreement between the EU and the Gulf nations, and it should be fast-tracked as the bloc looks to diversify trade ties with worldwide to counter the impact of U.S. tariffs and inundation of Chinese exports.
This is smart.
What should Donald Trump think was going to happen?
This is smart. It's like, this makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Makes
I remember Donald
sense.
Trump saying, winning a trade war is easy.
Right. How many times has he won them?
Actually, he's won them fewer times than the number of times he had companies go bankrupt. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he's going to bankrupt the United States.
That's what he's doing a good job of that. He's doing a good job of not helping us get. He's not helping people that much. No.
Okay. Now we have a picture. This is a picture. Frankly, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
This is on the top of a wind turbine. What are those things coming off the top of that? It looks like they're tying whatever. And why is that guy going up a ladder to the very top of the thing? I don't
know. This is from Renews. Baltic Sea wind lifts 50 hertz output.
Now, 50 hertz, I should tell you, is a company that operates the electrical system in what used to be East Germany. Offshore wind farms in the Baltic Sea fed about 5,400 gigawatt hours of electricity into the East German extra high voltage grid via 50 hertz's connection systems in 2025. 50 hertz said this represents growth of around 10% year on year and is enough to cover the electricity demand of Leipzig and the surrounding area.
That's great. That's good.
Yeah. We're up to Tuesday, February 10th. And we have an item from Renews.
Yeah. So this is, the headline here is UK awards 6.2 gigawatts of CFDs, contracts for difference, in onshore bonanza.
Yeah. The UK government has awarded contracts for difference agreements to 6.2 megawatts. I have here, but it's not megawatts, it's gigawatts, of offshore wind, solar, and tidal stream projects in the allocation round 7A renewable energy auction. Solar PV secured the largest haul with 4.9 gigawatts of awarded deals at a clearing price of 65.23 pounds per megawatt hour in 2024 prices. And unfortunately, I don't have a note here on what 65.23 pounds is in dollars, but it's about $100.
Yeah.
It's less than $100, I believe, but it's close. So I'm going to say 95, 85, $90.
Yeah.
I don't know. And by the way, Ed Miliband is he's the Secretary of the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero. And the caption there says this is a DESNZ photograph. Department of Energy Security and Net Zero.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Hello, England.
It's nice to know that somebody. What am I hearing?
Yeah, someone's walking around outside the studio. What's going on here? People are just walking and talking. Okay.
It's interesting that he's in the news almost on a daily basis. So, but he's a member of the cabinet who has actually been in a solar farm. We know because we had that picture.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Let's go on. This next one is from Euronews. Cold Europe and burning South. At both ends of the planet, January shows climate extremes.
Okay.
Look at those cute kangaroos, though.
What?
Those cute kangaroos.
Well, that's why I used that picture,
Good.
because the kangaroos are cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
While much of Europe and the United States braced against frigid cold, I remember that well, the southern hemisphere had extreme heat. Parts of the northern hemisphere did too. With wildfires and floods, global temperatures were at near record highs last month on average, to make it the 5th warmest January on record. For all the cold that we had here in New England, it was the 5th warmest January on record.
Yeah.
Because it was cold in New England and it was cold in parts of Europe. New England isn't that big. The northeastern United States isn't that big. The eastern part of the United States isn't that big, and Europe isn't that big, and the rest of the world was baking. So, should we go on?
Yeah, let's go on.
This is a picture of an EV belonging to ComEd, and I apologize for it. I think it's boring.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. Yeah, okay, that's fine. This is from Clean Technica.
Yeah.
Leading U.S. utility goes rogue, offers new round of EV funding. Ooh, like a rogue utility. Yeah, that sounds
This
great.
utility is a loose cannon, I'll tell you. Exelon's ComEd branch announced another $70 million of funds to support EV uptake in its territory in Illinois. Do they know about Washington, D.C.?
They heard of D.C.?
The initial round totaled more than $160 million in EV funding. These guys aren't kidding. ComEd credits the program with more than 10,000 EV charger installations in Illinois. They're not kidding.
Nope.
This is real, apparently.
This is wild.
Well, I hope
Rogue utilities. Great.
I hope
More rogue utilities? Is that what you hope? Because that's what I hope.
I hope for more rogue utilities, but I hope those ICE people in Minneapolis don't go to Illinois and start shooting utility workers.
That would be good.
If they don't, yes, it would be.
Not to shoot people.
Not to have that happen. Well, we're up to Wednesday, February 11th. We have a picture. Do you know why those blades have stripes on them?
So people above who are flying around can see them?
Flying people. That's exactly right. So birds see them flying around and don't get tempted to get into them. Okay.
So this is from Renews. Onshore wind lands 1.3 gigawatt haul.
More than 1,300 megawatts of onshore energy wind capacity has secured contracts for difference. Now, the moment you hear contracts for difference, you know there's a fair likelihood that we're talking about the UK.
Yeah.
There are other countries that use that terminology, but that's what they do. In the UK allocation round, which is AR7A auction, a total of 27 projects were secured in winning 20-year support deals at a clearing price of 72.24 pounds per megawatt hour in 2024 prices. The bid ceiling was 92 pounds per megawatt hour. Obviously, there were not a lot of people bidding at the ceiling. This is almost 20 pounds lower than that. So this is, they're putting in more.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Now, I'm going to show you something. I want you to be prepared.
Okay.
This is a flat-out fraud. The biggest scam in history.
Yep. Yep.
And it was done with scientific instruments. I don't know how they got those scientific instruments to lie, but maybe they've got artificially intelligent thermometers or something.
Right. So can I read the headline now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have an article from Clean Technica, and the headline here is Trump administration to make climate denialism national policy.
Continuing the theme of doltishness and mass human harm, the Trump administration seems to be aiming to make climate change denialism U.S. national policy. Why? Because we are apparently a petrol state being run by a mixture of Homer Simpson and Mr. Burns.
Absolutely. It is the Friday the 13th official story of disinformation, misinformation. Let's just make random things up and say that that's national policy, because that makes as much sense as climate denialism being a national policy when it's just about people not wanting to learn things.
That graph is a graph of the temperatures. Difference compared to the 1850 to 1900 average. And by the way, if you look into the methods that are used scientifically to find out what was the global temperature in 1850, it is amazing to look at what they do to find out. But they find out. And I look at that. I don't see any holes in their approach. And because these approaches are peer-reviewed, they're put through peer-reviewed publications, scientists don't see holes in their approach. So that graph is quite possibly pretty accurate. And you'll notice that between 1850 and 1940, it was pretty much level. And then in 1940, it suddenly went up, which honestly I think is connected with the Second World War.
Yeah, it might also be connected with the Cold War. It might also be connected with the ways in which, there's so many other things. Industrialization, you're talking about people having machines at home, having all these different kinds of machines.
Like lawnmowers.
Yeah, lawnmowers, but also like dishwashers.
Yes.
Like you have all these sort of conveniences that are requiring energy usage.
Right.
So all of these things, people suddenly had these things that they had to pay for the energy to use this, pay for the gas in the car, pay for the plugging in, using this. This is like the beginning. This is like the early parts of our mass consumerism.
Right. But in about 1970, 1975, this graph started going up steeply.
Reagan, hi.
What?
I said Reagan, hi.
Well,
hi, Reagan.
It wasn't just Reagan.
No,
As a matter of fact, there were other people who...
Exxon, hi.
Yeah.
That's because that's when these lies were being perpetuated, and people were knowing that there was climate change, but these lies were being perpetuated. So
I was surprised to learn, and I don't know if this happened before what I'm going to describe here, but it certainly there were a group of scientists who went to the President of the United States and told him, we've got a problem. And the problem is we are putting too much carbon dioxide and other things into the atmosphere, and we've got to tone that down. Who was the president? Lyndon Johnson. This was a long time ago.
yeah.
And what did we do? Nothing.
No.
Now we know that that a variety of companies, Chevron being one, as I recall, and Exxon, knew also, and they were concealing it and coming up with campaigns that were designed to prevent people from knowing.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is murder. Because people are dying as a result. And they're not dying in the future, they're dying now already.
Yeah.
Oh, and there it is. You know, you can see it right
Yeah.
there. And how you can claim to hide that, those marks on the side there are
Different studies, different people, different sources of information. When you have all these different sources of information, all kind of saying the same thing.
very close to the same thing.
Pretty much. Look, if you look at the end of that thing, yeah, looks pretty.
And the gradations there on the left are in degrees Celsius. That's not Fahrenheit, it's Celsius. And we're according to this, at 1.5 degrees Celsius. We've hit it.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to stop on a nice note.
Yeah, look at that pretty forest. It's boreal forests are expanding northward due to warming climate, satellite images show. This is from ABC News.
Yeah. Boreal forests are shifting northward. Boreal, what does it mean? Northern. That's what it means. The aurora borealis is the aurora in the north.
Oh.
The aurora australis,
Australis?
I don't know, is the aurora in the south, who knows, are shifting northward as they warm due to climate change. Several decades of satellite images show annual surface temperatures in boreal forests have increased about 1.4 degrees Celsius or 2.52 degrees Fahrenheit over the last century, according to the study. What this means is that the forests are expanding. And if we just let them expand instead of trying to make money out of them, we've got a hope of getting some value out of them.
Can I just say one thing? Stop industrializing things. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Behave yourself.
Let it grow. Let the trees grow.
Yeah, let the trees grow. Let the sphagnum moss grow. Let the I don't know. I think we may be at a point where we're going to have to put in swales to prevent water from moving downhill all over the United States so that we can control how the water is captured. And if we do that in, for example, California, it's going to, I think we could change California by doing that. And this problem that you've been talking about of water in the West,
big problem.
It's a huge problem, but it's a problem that we can address. Mm-hmm. And so I have some hope for that.
Good. That's wonderful. So glad.
Well,
someone has hope.
I do.
Good.
And I'm not the only one. But you know, they have these pictures of lunettes, which are half-moon shaped holes in the ground, that where the straight side is at ground level and it tips downward, and the round part of the lunette is the downhill part. And this thing is maybe 15 feet across. And water coming down the hillside mm-hmm. gets caught in that. And then where does it go? Well, if the lunette fills, it just continues down to the next lunette. But if at some point the lunette is going to start drying out, or it's not going to fill fully, or whatever, the water goes into the soil, which raises the water, the water in the groundwater. Should have figured that out faster. But anyway, there it is.
There it is.
Now what we've got, we're late.
We're late.
We hope everybody has a wonderfully uncomplicated week.